Hello friends, welcome in or welcome back. My name is Amanda and today we have 4 piles for you to choose from with unique messages from Spirit regarding your gifts, talents, and or abilities. If you're ready to get into it, you can find the timestamp for your reading in the description box or pinned comment. However, if you'd like me to introduce you to the piles, let me do that now. So for pile number 1, we have the Hermit with the Aragonite stone. For pile number 2, we have the Warrior with the Hematite stone. For pile 3, we have the Medicine Mother with Lapis Lazuli. And finally, pile 4, Seer with the Amethyst stone. So use your intuition to choose the pile that is calling to you the most, then click on the timestamp in the description box or the pinned comment to skip to your reading, and we will see you over there. Hello, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose Hermit, Retreat, and Recharge. I get that your gift might have something to do with spirituality, mindfulness, meditation. You could be a yoga teacher, yoga instructor. You could be somebody who is a leader of some kind in the spiritual realm. Or it could just be that you are somebody who is very spiritually inclined and is here to help teach others how to connect in with their own spirituality in some form or fashion. So let's take a look at the cards and what is pile 1's spiritual gifts. Unique talents or abilities. 2 more cards. Actually, maybe we'll get 3 more cards. Thank you. I'll grab that one in a sec. 2 more. Thank you. Thank you. Where did that second one go here? Okay. Okay, so you have the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Wands, as well as the 9 of Swords and the King of Cups in reverse here. Ooh, I'm getting definitely a very strong spiritual leader here, or you could be a therapist of some kind, a psychologist, somebody who helps people release their stresses, worries, and manages their emotions to a degree where they feel empowered and they can make positive changes in their life. I really feel like you are somebody who is very ambitious and has the skill, maybe even the experience in their own life that they can help people regulate their emotions, to find some kind of emotional balance, to learn how to de-stress, and that is very aligned with that meditation, yoga, any kind of mindfulness practice, because it is about having, I wouldn't say control over the mind, but it is about bringing peace and harmony to the mind, of being able to manage those emotions in a way that it doesn't overcome oneself. So I really feel like you are somebody who has that skill and ability here. I'm inclined to pull more cards here, not as clarifiers, just as additional cards. Maybe a couple more cards for pile 1, please. A couple more cards. Yeah, you could work with people who have had some kind of fallout in their life. And you work, I'm going to pull the bottom of the card, and I just noticed the next bottom of the deck was the Hermit, and then the Queen of Wands was ahead of that. So I'm really getting a picture here of you being, I mean, I feel quite on point with you being some kind of spiritual leader. You allow people or help people connect with their inner wisdom and bring their confidence back, to allow them to find their joy and happiness again, their stability. Because I feel like you work with people who are, I don't want to say down on their luck, but they are kind of at rock bottom, where they've lost a lot of things, or they have experienced a lot of loss in their life in the three-dimensional world, and they might have a hard time managing that for themselves. They may have, they might be really reactive people, and not necessarily in a bad way, but this is simply just due to them not having the skill sets to manage that I feel you really teach. You really empower them to make positive change in their life, and you really help bring them back from the lowest points of their life. You help them connect to their inner wisdom. You help them not be codependent on anybody. It's a very empowering, I feel like your gifts are very empowering. And I feel like if this isn't something that you are currently in, maybe you feel the call to do that. So if you were questioning that, then I feel like this might be your sign to explore that a little further, because I feel you have a unique gift, ability, and talent to really instill positive change in people's lives from a spiritual aspect and from a practical aspect as well. This isn't just about the spiritual woo-woo magic of life. This is bringing real life skills and teaching those real life skills to people. I even want to say children. So you could be teaching mindfulness practices to children as well, so that they can build their confidence and be adaptable to changes in their life as they grow. And if you did have question on whether or not that you would be good at it, I feel like you would be, because we have some pretty nice cards here. The sun is shining brightly in the middle of this reading, so I really feel like this could be a very joyful avenue for you to explore if you are not currently in this. And maybe you have hints of this as well in your life, where maybe you help people in your life currently, but you haven't really assigned a profession to it. So maybe there is a profession that you can look into that deals with those unique skills, abilities, and talents here. So let's get some advice on how you might either strengthen this gift in you or follow this path. Let's see, how can pile 1 follow this path, strengthen this gift? How can pile 1, does pile 1 need to know about their gift? Does pile 1 need to know about their gift? Does pile 1 need to know about their gift? Oh, lovely. And bottom of the deck, just because we're pulling bottom of the deck, I'll do that. Hopefully you can see it. I'll move these over so we get the other cards in here. Okay, so we have approve and nourish. So I really feel like, well, first of all, maybe you're looking for approval or a sign that you should go forth and do this as a calling or as a career or a business. And I really feel like you already are doing it. So you do not need permission from anybody in the 3D or anything in the 3D. This could be your confirmation. And I feel with this Hermit and this Hermit, especially with this being in the reverse, I really feel like this is a bit of a soul calling for you. And I would maybe journal about it, but I have a feeling that you have already written down somewhere, that you kind of I want to say a vision board, or you've written something down in a journal about this, and you may not even know it. I feel like there's two camps here. There's a camp that knows this and is like, yes, I needed confirmation and here it is. And then there's the other half that kind of do this casually without knowing that this is their gift, but didn't even consider this as a path that they could take. So I feel like there's something written down in a journal somewhere, or you've noted it somewhere, or somebody has written to you or about this. That's a strong message that I'm getting there. But yeah, you're really all about nourishing people in a time of their life where maybe they are looking for some kind of approval or permission to live their best life. And you really offer a space, a comforting space to come home to, is what I'm hearing here. And because this is the moon, it's a full moon. Moons are all about the subconscious. So you could, this could be a subconscious thing that, again, you don't know that you have this gift for. Or you could be working with people's shadow. You could be doing shadow work with people as well. But yeah, I would say that if you would like to explore this, to consider what kind of environment you want to create for your clientele, for the people. First of all, where would you find them so that you can go ahead and help them a little easier, but also what kind of environment would help them be comfortable in exploring maybe the shadow parts of themselves, or a space to journal and reflect. I feel like there's something about journaling and creating a space for them to come to get support and approval. There could be some kind of soul circle or spirit circles or something that you could host that could really offer some kind of soul reflection, or it could be a one-on-one private thing as well, where you are creating a one-on-one, very intimate experience with people, where you can set up a space to explore the things that people want to make changes for in their life. So pile one, this is the message that I have for you. I do hope it resonated and you found some clarity and guidance in this today. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose the warrior, be fearless and stand strong. I feel like you've been through a lot, and you are somebody who isn't afraid to stand up to a challenge. You could be somebody who is very protective. So I feel like your unique gifts and abilities could have something to do with physical strength. So you could be somebody in the fitness industry. You could be somebody who is in the construction industry, or something on a physical, where it requires physical or athletic skill. This could also be somebody who is in a particular industry that requires you to stand up for yourself or to plead your case. I'm thinking a lawyer, or some kind of legal career. But I feel like you are, regardless of what you do, I feel like you are somebody who is a protector of those who you love. And somebody who is willing to face conflict, face challenges, to overcome those challenges. So let's take a peek at what the tarot cards have to say about that. Spirit, could we get some cards today for Pile 2? What is their unique abilities, gifts, and talents? Spirit, for Pile 2, please. What is their unique abilities, gifts, or talents? I'll get that one in a sec. 2 more. I will get this out before I start shuffling again. Spirit, thank you. And 1 more, thank you. Bottom of the deck. Okay. All right. So we have all of these in reverse. So we have the Death card in reverse. We have the Justice card in reverse. The Knight of Swords in reverse. And the Hanged Man in reverse. With the Two of Cups in the reverse position. So I feel like you are somebody, I'm going to go back to the lawyer thing because we've got the Two of Cups, which indicates a disharmony in relationships. So I feel like you could be somebody who deals with litigation when it comes to the end of a relationship. With the Death card here, there's a resistance or resistance to change. There could be some words being flown about in that particular instance. I feel like you have the ability to really see things from a different perspective and really bring things to justice. Now, because these are in reverse, I do feel like you might not know this about yourself, that you don't really see yourself as this fearless, strong leader. There's a sense of fairness coming through, but I feel like that's really tough for you because you do not like, I feel like you do not like it when things are unsettled. So even though you have the ability within you to stand up to the challenge and overcome the challenge and help resolve and problem solve, I feel like you don't want to do that. That's not a position, or it's not something that you feel like you want to willingly put yourself in. Now, this could be from a previous experience where you didn't like the fact that nobody was a winner, regardless of, you didn't like the injustice. Maybe you don't like the justice system, and you really don't like to necessarily argue in favor of one particular side. I feel like you enjoy being able to bring things into balance, but in a particular situation in your past, you weren't able to. So you don't want to willingly put yourself in a particular position to do that, because you don't like having to, I don't want to say force, but encourage or push an ending, a premature ending on something that maybe you have biases about, which is not a bad thing, but you just see things from a different point of view. And when you see things from a different point of view and you try to share that point of view, try to encourage things to be a little more balanced, it's really difficult for you to achieve that. So I feel like you might know that about yourself, but you might not be actively pursuing that as a particular thing in your career path, in a business, whatever it is in your life. It is just something that you have, but you're not utilizing. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. But the question remains, is this something that you are being called to do? So let's get some more cards. And you also you seem to want to move faster than, or is there delays? There's too many delays. The Hierophant in reverse. Let's do a couple more. Yeah, all of these cards are in reverse. So it's like I feel like you're really shutting this out. This is you have the gift of going to battle for people, to put their best interests at heart, but it doesn't always work out the way you want. So you've just taken yourself out of the equation. It's really interesting that these are all in reverse. I'm almost inclined to read them upright, just because the reversals, I don't know if they... You can let me know if I'm hitting the mark when it comes to what I just mentioned about your gifts, talents, and abilities here. I'm hesitant to read them reverse because we're not talking about blockages and obstacles. We're talking about what your gifts and talents are, which technically I feel should be all upright, but they're all in reverse. So I feel like that is significant. So I'm going to continue, even though it feels really weird. This is the first time that I'm reading about this particular topic, so bear with me as I work out some kinks in real time with you. So I'm going to go back to my previous message. You have been through a lot of stuff. And I feel like that could be the reason why you do not want to... This almost feels like a suppression of the gift or the talent or ability that you have. I feel like you have this ability to really not only bring a different perspective and an enlightenment to maybe an argument or a conversation. There's a neutralizing effect that I feel that happens when you are involved. You're able to resolve problems relatively easy. You're not afraid of confrontation. You're not afraid to overcome the challenges, which I mentioned. But you do not like the fact that you have to take sides, because I feel like you can see both sides of a situation. So it's almost like you avoid using this ability to avoid having to choose sides. You don't want to choose sides, which makes sense if you are not in the legal system, but maybe you would be really good at it because you do have this ability, this gift to do that. But you don't like the fact that you could potentially lose, or you could potentially win and somebody else loses. This could be a very overwhelming thing for you. So even in spite of you being a warrior, I feel like you're quite a sensitive person, which is maybe why you don't like to be in it. You don't like to be the forefront or the leader of a particular aspect of conflict or confrontation or communication between two people, because you are very sensitive to both sides of the argument. You're very sensitive to the energies around you. And so all I will say is, if you don't want to be a lawyer, because we're using that as an example, then where else can you apply this ability or gift? Where else can you use your sensitivity to bring a sense of justice, bring a sense of closure, bring a sense of enlightenment to the situation? Now, this could be through advocacy efforts. Maybe you are fighting for people who don't have the resources or the means to stand up for themselves, fight on their own behalf. Maybe you're maybe you're a mitigator. So rather than I think they have mitigators before they go to court. So they try to work things out beforehand. So you're able to see both sides of the situation and hopefully find resolution, a fair resolution between two people before it gets to that, and bring some enlightenment with your perspective and your thoughts and your knowledge about a particular situation. And you can use your sensitivity to really soften the environment, to soften the rough edges that people might be coming into that situation with. So that is just an example, but I feel like you have a way with people and a really positive effect on people. But I think the reason why they might all be in reverse is that there is either fear or doubt or an avoidance to stepping into this. Maybe there is fear that you are not going to be accepted, or you may just not know where to apply these skills and gifts. There may be some clouded judgment here with the Queen of Swords in reverse. So you really can't gather any information on how to apply this gift and ability because there's no real direct answer. So it's almost like you have to create your own pathway here to bring this gift into the real world. And I think it requires you to do something a little bit differently to break out of the norm. I feel like that's not going to be something that you can pick from a list of school classes, or you can pick from a career list. I feel like this is a really unique thing that you have going for you, and it's going to require a custom fit in terms of how you go about utilizing this if you feel called to do so. So let's get some other further last advice for you. How can pile 2 utilize their gift, strengthen their gift, apply their gift? Let's see what happens here. Ooh, patience. One more. Spirit, for pile 2, please. One more for pile 2. Oh, you got 2 more. That's okay. I got 3 for the last pile as well. Okay, interesting. Soul came out for the last pile as well. So you have patience, synchronicity, and soul. So there could be a soul calling here, but I think it's going to take a little bit of patience and time. There is a song, I've got my mind set on you. It's gonna take patience and time to do it right. So I feel like if you're kind of questioning where you're going from here, how to apply it, what to do, I think patience is going to be patience, and maybe journaling about it, exploring it a little bit, see where certain things, see where it applies in the real world, and how you can kind of form it and shape it into something really unique to you. If this is something that you want to do, say for a business or a job, then that I feel is kind of something that you'll have to explore and really put some effort into doing. But to really strengthen this gift, I think you're just going to have to bring awareness to it, have a little patience, and wait for the right time to apply it. Even if that's just in real life, where you are, helping a couple of friends through difficulty, or you and your partner, for example, moving through difficulty. I think it's just about listening to the call of your soul and listening to that sensitivity of yours, and maybe even connecting with that a little bit more, so that you can really bring this to the forefront if you're called to do so, and really share your enlightenment with people in some form or fashion. I want to say starting a blog or writing a book, something in the realm of writing, journaling is what I'm getting most strongly here. And again, we have, like we saw in the Ace of Cups here, we have patience and this kind of flowing water. So it's about letting your emotions out, letting them be seen, not being afraid to share them with people. There's vulnerability that comes with that, but that could be the reason why you might not be sharing it, because you are a warrior, you are strong, you are tough, you can overcome anything, and you are really fearless. But don't forget about that soft side of yourself that really, I think, elevates that strength. So that could be a message there for somebody as well. So pile 2, this is what I have for you. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose the Medicine Mother with the Lapis Lazuli. I feel like There could be a mothering energy in here. You could be somebody that works with natural medicines. You could be a healer of some kind, a doctor, a naturopath, some kind of medicine woman. I feel like you're using your inner knowing or some ancestral knowledge to heal through nature. But yeah, it could just simply be a mothering energy, and your gifts and talents are to heal through your kindness, your love, your strength as who you are as a divine feminine. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you are female. That's simply just an energy. Divine feminine, divine masculine, receiving versus outward action. So this is about receiving knowledge, but also nurturing others with that knowledge through medicine, through healing modalities. And we're going to get 3 cards now and get into the details of what your gifts and abilities and talents are. What are your gifts? Pile 3. Gifts, abilities, and talents for pile 3, please. Strongest energy. Thank you. We'll get 2 more cards for pile 3. Thank you. And I am reading reversals, but they're a little weird in this context, and this is the first time that I'm doing this, so this particular topic, so please bear with me as I kind of figure out the energies and decide whether the reversals work or not. So we have the Judgment in reverse. We have the 6 of Cups in the upright. We have the 3 of Pentacles in the upright and the 10 of Pentacles in the upright. So I definitely feel, in the bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse position. So it's definitely working with imbalances, possibly within the body. You could be working with children as well. So you could be a nurse of some kind. You could be a naturopath, but I really feel like you're definitely working with others in the 3-dimensional world, trying to balance the imbalances that they're experiencing within their body. And it's you, I feel, are really helping them release some old things from their life in order to step into an elevated body, an elevated space, something that is feeling better, that is feeling more aligned, that is kind of taking them from a really unhealed place to something that is a little more joyful, a little more happy, a little more playful even. I feel like you are invigorating them again in the physical aspects. Pile 1 could have spoken really strongly to you, so definitely check out pile 1 if you had any desire to check out that pile, because very similar energies but also very different at the same time. But I definitely feel like you're working more with the physical body than pile 1 was. They, I feel, are more energetic. They're working more with the energetics of things. But yeah, that's kind of what I see here. And it's almost as if, you're trying to create a really healthy, fruitful body for people. And so they can really live life to the fullest here. Let's get a couple more cards. A few more cards for pile 3, please, about their gifts, talents, and abilities. But I do get this beautiful kind of spiritual connection too with this. It's not just about, here's some pills to take and you'll be on your way. One more, thanks. I did see one flip here. Yeah. Oh, we'll get one more. Okay, you got a bonus one there. So this is, yeah, I really feel like this isn't just about giving people pills and having them be on their way. This is definitely more, maybe it's not spiritual, but it's definitely grounded in more of a natural way of healing their body. I feel like there could be, I feel like you're almost the person that they go to when nothing else seems to be working. And because I feel like you're a bit of an alternative medicine, but I feel like it works. It's almost as if they've exhausted their options and they're just at a point where they're so frustrated that they want to do something new. They want to do something different, more natural, more spiritual, more aligned with who they are, and how they want to feel. And I feel like you really bring that energy of calm and enlightenment to their life. You really bring a nurturing energy that, especially at a time when they're not feeling their best, they're not feeling their most abundant, and they want to live their best life. They want to release the limiting beliefs, the stressors, the overthinking, the things that are kind of keeping them in a loop. That I feel like they've exhausted all of their options, and they come to you to seek healing in a way that is so much more. I almost can't put my finger on it, because I am getting that feeling that this is just so much more. It's an elevation of medicine. And I feel like you really have a talent for it. You really have a gift for it. This could be ancestral passing down of knowledge, to bring it to people who have no more options left, is what I'm getting here. And they're quite frustrated. They have reached the end of their rope, and you bring this fresh, beautiful, hopeful energy to them. And not only that, but you end up bringing life back into them. What a wonderful, I don't know what you do, but it is quite beautiful here. It's really, really, it feels very refreshing. It feels very elevated. It feels very in partnership. So it's not like I said, it's not like you do a diagnosis and you give them this thing and then they go on their merry way. You actually build relationships with these people. You ask them what it is that they want, what it is that they need, what it is that they're looking for, the outcome. So it's a bit of a partnership here, to go back and forth to see what works, to really connect with them on a personal level, so that you can kind of meet them where they are, but then carry them to where they want to go. And I don't know if, because I'm referring to medicine because of the opening or the card that you chose. So there could be somebody in the alternative medicine world, but it could also be other things as well. You could make, I don't know, creams, or you could make things from botanicals that help people's skin ailments, or help people's arthritis, or something along those lines, where there's an imbalance in the body, there's an imbalance in their life, and you create something, or you offer something that brings that back into balance and helps them kind of move away from this imbalance, and really brings life back, really brings the joy back into their life, because they're able to move better, they feel better, they look better, and there's just a renewed sense of faith and hope and love and all of that. So that's beautiful. Whatever it is you do, I'd love to know. So we're going to get a few final cards here to end your reading. What does pile 3 need to know about their gifts, talents, and abilities? How can they strengthen them? How can they connect with them better? Now, I just want to say This may be kind of strange and out to lunch here, but maybe you're a financial advisor. And so you offer quote unquote medicine for their financial worries. So you could be connected to finances in some way. We'll get one more card. Let's get one more card, please, Spirit. One more to end their reading. And I know that sounds really strange because it doesn't really connect in with the medicine, but I feel like medicine can be applied in a number of ways. And so it could be dealing with physical ailments, but maybe you have the key or the answer to a problem that somebody's having. All right, another one doesn't seem... Okay, you got 3, so we'll take 3. So, you got nourish, so we knew this. So, nourish this. Nourish the people who you connect with. Nourish this gift that you have. And this also came out in pile 1, so I do feel that there's a connection there. But yeah, nourish your relationships by really building that relationship. Building that connection is what I was trying to say. And we mentioned that earlier. But I feel like you do have this connection with people, and you're not just kind of writing things down and saying, okay, this is what my problem is, here's the solution, next. You know, it's not a conveyor belt of clients. I do feel like you're really building these relationships over a long period of time so that you can really see their progress, you can really see the improvements, and you are there for them when they need you. Immerse. So yeah, I feel like you're really immersing yourself in their story, and you become part of their story because of this gift. And that could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, because depending on what you're doing, you get emotionally attached. And you know, that's a good thing to have, especially if you are in the medicinal field or in, you know, the therapeutic field. You do want to care for your clients in that way. You do want to care for their well-being and make sure that they're okay. So immersion is kind of a must-have in that particular field. And then we have surrender. So surrendering to the outcome and not really internalizing the results, whether good or bad, because if we internalize the good, and yes, that feels beautiful and good, but also when the bad comes up, then we also internalize that as well. So there's almost a sense of neutrality. I think that it's like surrendering to the outcome, about doing your best in the moment and doing your best with these gifts and talents, but also surrendering to the expectations, to the outcome, to whatever comes to be, and how even this gift and talent develops over time and in the 3-dimensional world. So, pile 3. This is what I have for you. I do hope you found some clarity and guidance today. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading. Hello, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. This is a new topic for me, and I have to admit, you are a bonus pile, in the sense where I only was going to do 3 piles, and I had the intro recorded for 3 piles, but I had a strong sense that I needed to do a 4th pile. So I redid the intro with a 4th card, and you are here in your bonus, in the bonus section. So, Seer. I feel like you could be somebody who uses their intuition a lot. You could be somebody who is quite psychic, who is quite connected to their inner world, the spirit world. You could even read tarot yourself. But I feel that whatever you do in life, I do feel like it is either guided by your inner knowing, your divine calling, your divine, kind of the divine. You really listen to that spirit of yours and that inner knowing. Or, yeah, you could be some kind of seer. You could have this ability to even see people beyond the facade that they show. You could be a highly sensitive person as well. So seeing in the sense where you're feeling energetics of the room, you're feeling the energy of others, and you can kind of see them before they kind of tell you who they are. So really, really cool ability and gift so far. Let's see what the tarot has to say about it. Spirit, could we get 4 cards for pile 4 regarding their unique gifts, abilities, and talents? Please share with us. I would be surprised if the High Priestess did not come out. I'm feeling the High Priestess on this one, but we'll see. 2 more cards, please, Spirit, for pile 4 and their unique gifts and abilities. Thank you. 3 of Cups, bottom of the deck. So this was your first card. The second, third, fourth. Okay. So we have the Moon in reverse and the 6 of Cups. And we have the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, as well as the 3 of Cups in the reverse position. I think you do quite well in situations that are really happy and joyful for you. But I feel like whatever this gift is, I feel like it is attached to some hardships that you've experienced with the people in your life, the relationships in your life. You could have experienced a lot of loss, maybe a sense of abandonment or isolation. You could have had a split in a family dynamic or had difficulty connecting with friendships. And there could be some secrets that, I don't know, you've kept or you know about that never actually came to light. So this is kind of why you're able to see through situations, is because your sensitivity for people, for environments, have really been dialed up. And dialing up, that could also be a psychic sensitivity as well, where something in your life happened in your past and it really tuned you in somehow. Now, with this sensitivity, I think that you need to find yourself in joyful situations, because it really shuts itself down in situations where you are under stress, where you are in conflict with others, where you are not seeing the way forward. But I also think you have an inner knowing about things, so you don't necessarily need to have everything kind of lined up in order to see the pathway forward. So I think that's a really unique and very cool ability, but it's the strongest when you are in an environment where you can let loose, where you can play, where you can have fun and connect with your imagination and that inner child. I also am getting the message that you know things that people don't think you know, and it freaks them out. So that's kind of a funny little tidbit there. But I really feel like you worked hard to foster a sense of security in your life, to foster a sense of love for yourself, for others in your life. And that's something that you have really been able to do, is to not only create an environment that is very loving, but also very healing as well. And I think you also connect with people who have seen hardships as well. So you may have a lot of people in your life who have experienced some darkness, who have experienced some loss, some isolation, some abandonment. So I feel like because you have this ability, You have the ability to help others work through these dark parts, and that's not necessarily to say to do this as a profession, but you just have this ability, even as a friend, you are their safe haven when things go bad. Now, I do want to say, and it'll be interesting to see what other cards come out, but I think one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give with that, especially if you are continually, you are the light, is what I'm hearing. So if you are the light, you are the joy, you are the respite in a situation, especially when it's tied to others, where they are experiencing loss and hardship and dark moments in their life. If you are that light, then you are going to have to be very careful about your energy, who you share your energy with, who you connect with, because not everybody has your best interests at heart. And so I just want to throw that out there, because I am getting bugs to a light here, where you're the shining light in the dark, and because people do not want to experience this discomfort in their life, who does, they kind of gravitate towards you. And because you can see the answers before anyone else, because you have a sensitivity about this, that they gravitate towards you so that you can help them through it. And that is noble. That is a great thing to do. However, if that's all they're coming to you for, and they're coming to you to solve all of their problems and do the work on their behalf, that is a different story. There is a difference between helping others and doing the work for others, which won't necessarily stick in the long term, because people have to do that work on their own in order to see long-term benefits. If they don't, then they're going to continue that pattern until they've learned that lesson. And so they're going to keep coming back to you to have you help them get out of this situation. So just be careful of enabling behavior, or that codependency that can happen, especially when it comes to people that we love. It can be really difficult to draw boundaries and to really protect our energy. And there's nothing saying that you can't help, but just be aware of how much you are helping, and if you are helping or if you are hindering, if you are supporting or if you are taking on the responsibility of solving the problem for them. So that came out. I wasn't sure that I was going to get there, but I kind of think that that's the strongest energy here, because I do feel like you have this magical ability to solve problems, to see through situations and people, and problem solve. And I already said problem solve, didn't I? Sorry. So we're going to get one more, and we'll get some final cards to end your reading as well. Okay, that one fell way on the floor. Okay, so yeah, we've got the Eight of Cups here. We've got the Ace of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Queen of Swords as kind of clarifiers or advice. But basically, it's about getting really clear about what you need to, what to take on and what to let go of. Interesting, the candle went really crazy there, and I wasn't really moving. But I think we're onto something there. What to take on and what to let go of. And the Eight of Cups is about dropping that what isn't yours, dropping what is not serving you, dropping whatever emotions are kind of holding you down, holding you back, and moving on from kind of taking only what you need, only what is yours, to move on from that. Now, I do think that something interesting, something new could come from this with the Ace of Wands in reverse. You could get a spark of an idea. You could get a hint of something that you can really take action on. But you have to find your clarity first. Clarity about how to use the gift. Clarity about what to, almost how to manage it. You have to learn how to manage it before you can really take the wand and run with it. You really have to find your sense of ground in all of this. And there's a lot of cup energy here, so that's kind of why I sense that you might be a sensitive person, or you have experienced certain things in your life which has really dialed that up. And that's not a bad thing. I think that sensitive people are amazing. They have some really awesome gifts. I am one of them, so I can speak to that. But there's a lot of creativity here that is blocked. I think there's some new things that want to come through here. And in order for you to access that, you really have to learn to let go of what you can and cannot fix, what you can and cannot control, what emotions are yours, what are not. And once you get clear about that, then you can start to take action with those inspirations that you're getting on how to best utilize your abilities and gifts here. But I really do feel you have a talent to be that safe haven for people, to be the helper. But it's all about being really understanding when to step in and step out of that role, to turn down and turn up that sensitivity, and having those boundaries in place. The Queen of Swords is the queen of boundaries. So she really is very clear about, this is how it's going to go, and this is what this is how I need it to be in order for it to be successful, in order for me to bring my best to the table. And so I really feel like that, and that emotional level of that kind of manifesting on an emotional level as well, will bring forth a new way of doing things, a new way, a new inspiration, new motivation. Maybe even a spark of a new something, a new seed to plant here. Spark of something, yeah. So we're gonna get a few cards to end your reading. A couple of cards. We'll see what comes out. 2 cards to end pile 4's reading, please. And we're gonna ask the cards, how can they strengthen? How can pile 4 strengthen their gifts, work with their gifts? How can pile 4 strengthen their gifts or work with their gifts better? 2 cards, thank you. Interesting. And release, okay. All right, so I think this has to do with your past. Something in the past needs to be released in order for you to really be able to find strength in this gift of yours. Because the 6 of Cups can also be a very nostalgic card, which is why I mentioned something about childlike play or joyfulness, because that is that childlike energy that's coming through. And I did mention at the beginning that you may have experienced something in your past that may have been some kind of hardship, which has really tuned you into some things, emotionally speaking, or made you quite sensitive. And so it's about, there's a remembrance here. So I feel like that's a real 6 of Cups energy, where remembering something about an experience and kind of how that formed us, how that influenced how we are. And that could be both a good and a bad thing. So remembering those experiences, and there's some kind of release that needs to happen. I don't know if that's an emotional release, or if you need to find clarity about something that maybe happened in your past. But I really feel like this is not only going to allow you to really harness your gift, but it might even help you find a new way forward on working with it, on managing it, on really strengthening it. And also too, that release could be related or linked to some kind of family or friendships that may need to be let go of or released, or the need or the feeling to help them fix something that may be beyond your assistance. So it's about releasing what you can and cannot fix, what you can and cannot control, and what emotions are yours and what are not, and even what your responsibilities are in this. Even though you can doesn't mean you should. So it's about finding your perfect recipe for helping and supporting those in your life and the people that you might come across. So this is what I have for you, Pile 4. I hope you found some clarity and guidance today. With gratitude, I'm sending you my love, and we'll see you in your next reading.